welcome back. I'm here with plant expert Mike Gillespie, and he's here to take your plant care questions. So feel free to call in. But in the meantime, so we saw some rain, and now we're going to be seeing the sun and some 70s. But what does this mean for our plants?
You know, this is the time of year that we start to try to walk out of winter a little bit. We'll have some cold days like we do now, some moisture, thank goodness, and then we'll have some warm days, and it really does generate some of our early spring weeds. It's the time to go ahead and plant some of our cool season vegetables if you want to do that. Broccoli, lettuce, things like that. I'd hold off on the tomatoes and peppers unless you can protect them. Time to go ahead and plant some of your dormant fruit trees and roses and things like that. So the sun's coming up on spring, so to speak, and there's a few things we need to do. If you haven't put a pre-emergent down, you might want to do that, because once it starts to warm up, both this moisture is going to excite the weeds.
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 Those are not good.
Well, it depends on what you're talking about.
Oh, so what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, obviously there's some vegetation that's good for grazing, for livestock and things like that, but also it kind of helps keep some of us in business, so there you go.
There you go. All right, well, hey, we got some callers on the line, so let's see what they have to say. Hi, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, good morning. I was trying to find out how to eradicate bleeding hearts from a flower bed.
Those vines like that, they're fairly invasive. Right now they should be dormant. Excuse me. Go ahead and remove as much as you can trimming wise. I would leave about 6 or 8, maybe 12 inches of stem there. There's a product that has triclopyr in it that's a brush and stump killer that you can actually paint on or lightly spray on the stem. It'll be absorbed through the bark cells, and it will help. But just understand that this is going to be a season-long process, and it's going to be fairly surgical. So just be prepared to not get frustrated.
All right, well, we have another caller, so let's see what they have to say. Hi, caller, you're on the air.
Good morning. Yes, I was wondering, do the crepe myrtles come back after the winter?
Yes, they're a deciduous shrub that goes completely dormant. You'll lose some of the new vegetation at the end. It won't be able to survive the winter. The trick is right now you should probably go ahead and try to trim them. Normally the rule of thumb is that you'll trim them back to something about the size of a pencil. From that point on, it should put out, sometimes it puts down all up and down the stem, and you'll want to remove those and have the vegetation on at least the top half or the top 2/3 of the plant system. Then it'll set the bud terminals, and then it'll bloom when it gets really warm in the summer.
All right, well, we have another caller, so let's see what they have to say. Hi, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, when's a good time to plant onion sets? Thank you.
Actually, probably starting in January. I went and got them in January. I still have a few sets left. With the moisture and everything, it's probably bought you a little time. We use short day onions here, so they need some time to put their top on before they begin to bulb when the daylight hours get, I think, between 10 and 12 hours. So you want to put them in kind of early. If you're going to do it, I would go ahead and try to find something and put them in the ground as soon as you can. Don't start to fertilize them until you see at least 2 or 3 new shoot growths, and then you can use nitrogen.
All right. Well, if you guys have any questions, feel free to call in. In the meantime, so right now you were talking a little bit about what's good to plant as far as like tomatoes and other fruits and stuff. So what is exactly good other than tomatoes?
Well, I mean, some of your cool season stuff like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, lettuce, some of the things that can handle some cool weather. If you plant them by seed, when they come up, you may have to protect them through some cold, frosty mornings, put something over the top of them. If you buy them from start already, they can handle this cold weather. I've had some up there at HEB number 2 for the last 2 or 3 weeks. They've been outside the whole time, handle this cold weather. So that stuff is okay. It's too early for the tomatoes and peppers. All
right, well, we have a caller, so let's see what they have to say. Hi, caller, you're on there.
Good morning. My question is, I have a crepe myrtle that is about, I'm going to say about 5 feet tall, and it doesn't grow very much. I've had it there for years, but it's only 5 feet. Is it a good time to trim it? And when is it a good time to cut it back? Thank you.
Yes, probably January and February are the best time to trim deciduous shrubs and trees. They've been dormant long enough. The reason it may be only 5 foot, there are varieties that only get that tall. Sometimes if it's shaded for part of the day, it's not going to grow correctly. If there's too much competition for food and nutrients there, then that's going to inhibit the growth. If you've got too many canes, stem canes in there, that's going to inhibit the growth. And of course, water maintenance throughout the season is going to do that. So If you're not quite sure, you might take a picture of it, just come up there to see me at HEB, and then I'll ask you a few questions, and we'll see what we can do to help you.
All right, Mike. Well, hey, thank you so much.
Sure.
Appreciate you.